Hey, your boy Bobby B. Sure want to talk about a subject that comes to mind, and that is Tariq's ego death. Now, really, ego's death is double meaning. And the reason why I say that is because it's not only Tariq, it's also Monet. Now, when it comes to Tariq, basically, he's pretty much, the ego death thing with him is about him going through the stuff he went through, where he literally saw his future and how his future will eventually play out, with Diana attempting to betray him, and then his son attempting to betray him as well. So when it comes down to it, he says something about getting rid of the self of him that is not strong, and being the person he needs to be to become the biggest drug dealer in New York, right? So basically, with that being said, I really don't get it. I thought that it would have turned into something where he's learning his lesson or learning his father's complications. That scene would have been the perfect scene for Ghost to show up in. If they were ever going to bring Omari back for a scene with Tariq, to have Ghost speak to Tariq, that would have been the perfect scene for that to happen. But obviously, that's not the case. You know, it is what it is. We'll see. A lot of fans are still holding out for him potentially being alive and showing up. We'll see. When it comes down to it, though, basically, Tariq is now full on Ghost. He's saying it's going to take everything about him, about his father, for him to be successful. He said he never wanted to admit how much he was like his father, but now he admits to it, and he has to be like his dad in order to go against these people and be good at what he does. And really, he's embracing that. He has been embracing that over the years, but now he knows that he has to be just like his dad, which is giving Ghost some form of credit. So when it comes down to it, Monet, on the other hand, it's also an ego death for her. Monet is always used to being on top. She's always used to doing, her thing, whatever. She was always the boss dog. But when it comes down to it, she was able to apologize to Drew for what she's done wrong and things of that nature. And that's a bit of an ego death for her. But the biggest ego death for her was apparently getting caught up in what Carter got going on. And so Carter now is her boss, because Carter has crimes on her that she did, but instead of arresting her, saying, "You're going to work for me." Carter right now is the biggest opponent in season 4 of Power Book 2 Ghost. Him and Noma are really the top dogs. So when it comes down to it, these are some of the worst enemies you can ever have. You're dealing with an international drug lord who has power everywhere, while at the same time you're dealing with a cop who is a top tier cop, or the number 1 cop in New York, when he's actually the guy who's causing the most problems. So now, he's shown his hand. Even though we already knew what time it was with Noma, Carter has shown his hand. So Carter is definitely somebody that got to be dealt with. So when it comes down to it, man, so much going on. And I know some people, a lot of you guys, because I hear you out, you did not care for the mid-season finale. I get it, because you're like, look, where's the big deaths? The biggest deaths we had, the biggest death that we probably had this season so far, dominantly, was Obi. Obi was the biggest one. Salim, we don't really even know, because as far as we know, Salim is gone, but it could be a situation where he is still alive or survived the situation. Hard to say. But all I know is when it comes down to it, though, this was a big episode that pretty much leading into that war we thought we were going to get. A lot of people thought with this right here, we were going to go into a war because of the way season 3 ended. We all thought that. And for a moment, we had that going on. But Tariq, using his wits, got out of that situation to put himself in position to do other things. And so dominantly, the war arc that everybody's looking forward to is not going to be in the first half of season 4, because it wasn't. We clearly saw the first 5 episodes, but it's going to be in the second half, because it's like everybody's coming after everybody now. We got Tariq, who is about to be embracing full Ghost. We have Monet, who is now working for Carter. We have Carter, who is now trying to control everybody. We have Noma and Zion, who have a bit of a beef with one another going on. Just a whole lot of stuff going on. So basically, when it comes down to it, this is all the stuff that's coming together. This is leading into the second half of the season. And I know it's messed up. We got to wait 2 months for that, which is crazy. But basically, when it comes down to it, this was the situation. But that's pretty much all I got to say in regards to that. I just want to say to all of you that it is your boy, Bobby B's here. Just want to say much love, much respect. Hold it down, and one.